a lot has been happening in Britain, from terrorist attacks to the snap election and not turning out quite as Theresa may have expected. And then Brexit talks in that. What do you make of where Britain is at this particular point?
I think the kind of political stability that was expected has been attained. Obviously, May was not, given the kind of mandate she expected after, of course, the snap elections. But I think now the political crisis has bottomed out. So it's now about, bringing all the people together and pulling out of the EU as planned earlier. And I think now she knows she cannot manage on her own. She has to get all the other guys, including the opposition, of course, the Labour guys, on board on every kind of policy she comes up with. Because she doesn't have the mandate.
Yeah, she'd wanted a majority.
Yes.
Do you think she'll survive in terms of continuing being a leader of her party and, of course, Prime Minister as well? Because, there have been a lot of analysis on how this could unfold and see her lose that position.
Now, it is very possible. But, okay, one thing I think we need to realize is even with the kind of weakened position she is from, she's still the leader of a party that has the majority in the House. And it's not like the Labour guys have a lot of support. And of course, they made some gains, but I think it might not be that much going forward. So she's likely to survive. Yes, it's possible she's going to survive. Yeah.
Okay, and in terms of these talks, of course, each and every country still within the European Union looking out for their interests, looking out for their citizenry, and some of what might and is likely to change with the exit of Britain. What do you expect in the talks today in Brussels? Because that is largely expected to be a topic of conversation.
I think what's going to happen is it's all about trying to put the union together.
Right.
Obviously, there's been a serious onslaught, a serious attack, of course, not just from the member countries within the EU. Some of them, of course, we've had some outside attack. At some point, of course, Trump dismissed it as something that is not as strong as, expected. And in fact, he came out and supported the Britons in their, bid to pull out. But I think with the election of a new president in France who is so pro-EU, I expect a lot of lobbying to give the union new energy and new strength. And of course, they'll discuss on how to make it possible and easy for Britain to pull out without any problem.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's come back to Africa now and talk about Rwanda. Did you know the election is just 4 days apart from ours?
Yeah, it is, and
ahead of ours, of course, on the 4th of August.
Yes, and of course, Kagame is expected to win by landslide. You can foretell the outcome. Yeah, and that is because he's a strong man, and guys get scared even
and
challenging
not strong
him.
man in the literal sense, but strong man African leaders.
Exactly, and he went against the constitution. It's a third term for him, so.
Well, did he go against the Constitution? It was amended for him to be able to. So he's legally seeking
we can say it's illegal in quotes because, again, the amendment itself was contested. It was questioned.
Yes.
Yeah, that is a guy who is very, very much in control. He controls every small thing within, the country. Rwanda. So, yeah, that is what's expected. I think people should not be surprised to see him go for another term again after the third term.
He has this 7, and he could go for 2 other 5-year terms.
Exactly.
So technically, if he does go through all of them and he's elected, he could be president of Rwanda until 2034.
That is it.
Wow. But his argument for this amendment, and those who supported it, was stability in Rwanda. But do you agree that Rwanda must have Kagame to be stable?
Of course, that is rubbish. Rwanda does not need Kagame to be stable. If he wants a stable Rwanda without him as president, he can support it from outside. That is an argument which does not fly. It doesn't make sense at all. The point is, Kagame is a dictator, simple and clear. And the problem is the West has, I think, accommodated him for a long time until I think he's begun believing his lies. Yes, Rwanda is a very tightly controlled place. Even freedom of speech is not there. The media is very closely monitored, and that is a problem.
Yeah.
So Rwanda does not need Kagame for its stability.
Yeah, you'd imagine if he's been there for so long, he'd have done enough to ensure the stability even without him.
Yeah.
But let's come now to Kenya. A big decision expected today from the Court of Appeal, one that is weighty, especially in as far as the sentiments and remarks we've heard from NASA, who have argued if that decision is reversed, to have the declaration of the presidential results made by the chair of the IEBC, then they would ensure there's no election. Are you concerned?
No, I'm not concerned. Of course, we've had all these threats from various, points within the country.
I apologize to interject because my director tells me we have to go to the Court of Appeal. I think the proceedings there have begun. The 5-judge bench have